it's me, Rivety, and welcome to my channel. Today is part 3 of my Story Speed Build Sunday series. If you haven't checked out the other 2 episodes, I would definitely go check that out at some point. Basically, if you don't know, this series is me doing a build of some kind, and in the speed build, I'm just telling you a random story about something that's happened in my life or something like that. Kind of relate to the build, I guess, in a sense. Like today, the build is a food hut, and I've got a couple little food-related stories. I don't know, it's just something we're going with, and we'll see if you guys enjoy it. But yes, like I said, I've got a couple little food stories. I didn't really have, I don't know, I must be quite boring with my food. Yeah, I guess I am. I usually go quite simple with my food. But I do try and explore a little bit nowadays, but I don't really have any interesting food stories, except we went on a cruise. It must have been like 4 years ago. No, it must have been longer than that. And anyway, we went on a cruise, and it was a Carnival cruise ship, so it was an American cruise line. It was like first of all, that cruise, I don't know if it was just because it was an American cruise line. We've only ever went with Royal Caribbean, which is more geared towards Europeans. So maybe it was just the fact that it was an American cruise line. It was so different to the other cruises we'd been on, just because it was much more like relaxed and free. And I guess that's kind of the things I think when I think of Americans. I don't want to cause anyone offense by saying that, but that's kind of the vibe I think of. So it did fit kind of not what I expected, because I didn't really expect anything going into it. I just presumed it'd be the same as the other ones. But yeah, from literally day one, I was a lot younger, and there was like a twerking competition going on the main deck, like the first day. So I was there with my parents being like, what the hell is going on? So that was the kind of ship it was. We didn't expect that at all. But regardless of that, we're talking about food here. And it must have been like the first full day we had on the ship. And it was a day at sea. And I'd stayed up on the little table deck above the pool, and Mum and Dad went to the little like takeaway counter that did chips and burgers. Now, when I say chips, just in case there's any Americans watching, I mean fries. Yes, they went to go get some chips and burgers, and when they came back, now I don't know if this is an American way of having your chips, but the chips were literally black and soggy, like they were wet with oil. I don't know. That's like, no. Why would you eat that? My dad enjoyed them apparently, so I don't know. Maybe, like, let me know if that is like a very normal thing to have your chips like that or your fries like that. But I was not expecting that at all. So this cruise was just one thing after another of not expecting things. But yeah, so we had that. I didn't eat them, because I was just really grossed out by them, because I was so disappointed. Like, one of the main things whenever I go on holiday and it's really hot, I always crave ready salted crisps and chips. Always. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the salt in them. I don't know. So I was really excited to have some chips. And then those things were put down in front of me, and I was like, what is this? So that was unfortunate, but it was an experience. Let me know if that's normal. I would like to know so that I'm prepared next time. But yeah, oh yeah, there's actually another story. It's a lot more positive, I guess. I'm just trying to think of little like food related scenarios, I guess. But this one is, so we used to go every year down to London to see my dad's family, because he's from London. And we go down to the surrounding area of London, like they were all spread out. But we'd go down, and then we would go down for maybe a couple weeks, a week to 2 weeks, and we'd always go into London for an entire day. So that was just what we did. So it started out, it would be like me, Dad, and my 2 siblings. Sometimes Mum would go in, but she doesn't like big cities, so she doesn't tend to go in with us. And then, like, as my brother moved out, it was just me and my sister and my dad. And then my sister moved out, so then it was just me and my dad. But it was always a tradition. We would always do it. And whenever we went into London, we would always go to the big store, Harrods. Now, if you haven't heard of Harrods, it's like a giant store. It's like 20, 30 floors, I don't even know. And it sells everything imaginable. But it's quite like high market, I guess. Like it's quite fancy and it's very expensive. But it sells absolutely everything from clothes to there being a giant food hall. There've been like, I don't even know, like 20 restaurants in the building. There's a giant toy floor. There's everything. There's furniture, everything. But we would always go for a little wander around because I was just nosy and it was like a big exciting thing. Me coming from Scotland, up in the Highlands, we don't have this sort of thing. It was like a massive city thing. It was just really cool. But we'd always go up to the chocolate bar that was on one of the higher floors. Now this chocolate bar was really fancy and it was really expensive. But we would always go there as just like a little tradition. It was just something we always did. We never questioned it. And now like we haven't actually been to London in a good few years now, I'd say. But that used to just be what we would do. And we would always get the chocolate fondue and it would be white chocolate and have banana with it. And oh my God, that was just the best thing. But there we have it. This is the build. I like it. I think it could fit into any sort of neighbourhood. It's really nice. I mean, obviously it has to be nice weather to go there, but I feel like you could go and just have a drink instead of just food. Like you could go and just socialise and have a drink at the restaurant. Like it doesn't feel too restaurant-y, if you get what I mean. But yeah. I hope you liked my food stories, I guess. Do let me know about those chips so I know if it was just a bad experience. But I'll leave you here. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.